Warning, this video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and
breaking news!
What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to episode 2 of Macho Madness. Make sure to like the stream, share out the stream, and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Today we got Eddie, we got Austin, of course, my lovely boyfriend, and we got Isaac. How's it going, guys?
What's up, everybody? We're glad that the old people are gone and now the young people are taking over.
Right.
Dinosaurs
Putting Max in a home.
have left the building.
Hear that,
Left the
Max?
park.
Sending
my
you
God.
to the nursing home from Happy Gilmore. Ben Stiller's in charge of you.
Oh my god. Jesus.
He's-
No, but hope everyone's having a great day today. Today we're going to be talking about some pretty cool stuff that I got planned for us. Just recently, the first topic we'll discuss. Just recently, I got to show Austin Harry Potter movies for the first time, and I kind of wanted to get his thoughts on his perception on the movies coming out before, because he's never seen them before and he had no interest. So I kind of want to get his opinion on what you thought before, what you think now, and how much.
yeah, sure. I mean, look, like we talked about, like growing up. I saw them coming out and all of that, and I understand they're a pretty big part of culture and movie making and all that. I was raised super religious and stuff, and so if it had the words magic or wizard in it, wasn't happening. And then that's the thing you get to, like, when you get older and you can watch whatever you want. I just didn't. I was 8 movies too late, 9 movies
Pretty
too
much,
late.
yeah.
I was like, I don't care.
Whole franchise in.
Right, exactly. There's a whole franchise, and I didn't at the time think that I wanted to sit down and watch all of them and stuff. And so, you gave a pretty convincing case on trying it out, and we sat down, and I'm not gonna lie, no, I fell in love with it pretty quickly. I was very into the story, and a movie would end, and I'd be like, all right, on to the next. We're watching the next one, and so I really liked it. I think it was really, really good. For the most part, there's a couple of entries in there that were a little. My hot take is I think Deathly Hallows is one of the worst. The first part.
Perfect timing.
Part 1.
Perfect timing.
Hot takes. Yeah.
I was really hoping our good friend Diao would be here today.
Oh, yeah.
Hello,
Yo, what's up,
everyone. How's it
Yeah.
going? How's
Thank
it going?
Yeah. Guess what I did this weekend?
What did you do this weekend?
I watched all the Harry Potter movies.
Oh,
For the very first time.
yeah, I revisited some of the
They're
Potter
terrible.
films.
I hate all of them.
He's
I don't
lying.
know why anyone would make these films.
He's lying.
I just wanted to see that face.
Someone's
There.
gonna screenshot that meme. That
Troll.
There, you got it, you fucking troll. But one thing I do agree with you. I heard you say a minute ago.
Yeah.
Definitely Hallows Part 1 sucks. It's the worst one in the Wizarding world.
Yeah,
it's
it
the
sounds
worst.
It's not okay. I will
You
say
guys are
this.
fucking bugging when saying that bullshit.
No, I
Oh my
can't.
God.
I'm sorry.
Man,
No.
in my opinion, that's the fucking Half-Blood Prince right there. That's the worst one.
Half-Blood
Yes.
Prince
Half-Blood
was
Prince
the second
sucks
to
too.
worst.
Half-Blood
That is
Prince
the
sucks
second
too.
to worst.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: Half-Blood Prince, at least, I didn't want to fall asleep.
We skipped
You
him.
guys
That's
are
debatable.
bugging. You guys are bugging part 1. Hell no.
Dude,
No,
that
there
movie
were some
is
interesting
so-
watchable parts of Half-Blood Prince.
No, there was not.
Come on.
The
Looking for
movie
the
looks like
Horcrux.
it's shot through a
Isn't
piss.
Half-Blood Prince where Dumbledore?
Okay, I like the scene where Dumbledore dies and stuff like that, and that shot's pretty cool. But I don't like the fact Dumbledore dies because I love Dumbledore. But
Yeah, we knew
that scene when Snape's like, "I'm the Half-Blood,"
Blood Prince.
I'm just like, "Oh my
Yeah,
god!"
I'm
that
over
was
here
really
like, what the fuck does that even mean?
I did. You know what? I asked that. I did say that. I was like, "What does that mean?"
Yeah, Potterheads,
Well,
please explain.
Well,
Throughout the
I'll
movie.
explain it then. He is a
Potheads.
Half-Blood wizard, and
Yeah.
his mom's maiden name was Prince. So,
And
there's
throughout the movie,
Yeah.
he has a diary, I think, and he's going over memories. He doesn't know whose memories it is. He's trying to find out who the Half-Blood Prince is.
I'm the Half-Blood Prince.
Okay. Is it me or like Half-Blood Prince looks like it's shot through a piss filter? Because that
I
cinematography is
agree,
ugly.
And you
man.
know what's really weird to me is it's the only movie that's PG. The first two movies were PG-13. I'm just like, what? What was the thought
the
process?
David Yates era. Well, actually,
Yeah,
no.
it's just very.
Half-Blood Prince was PG-13. That wasn't David Yates yet. But yeah, like PG-13, PG-13, PG, PG-13,
But-
PG-13.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
Yeah.
like, what?
No,
But
like
what's interesting is like I was talking to Austin about it because he's never seen them before, and I showed him the best one in my opinion is Prisoner of Azkaban, which is a phenomenal.
That's
movie.
my favorite too.
I love that movie.
I like the movie, but I don't. It's not the best to me. It's not the
Damn it.
best.
which one?
Prisoner of
Prisoner
Azkaban.
Oh no, I think it's a masterpiece, but it's not my favorite.
But what's interesting is I was telling Austin how my biggest pet peeve about I love David Yates and I love his what he did for Harry Potter and just his kind of eye on some really cool shots in those movies. But my biggest pet peeve is pretty much all of our concern and all of our thing is the shaky cam and stuff like that. And a big thing he brought up is it's not consistent with the other movies. And it's just, oh man, it just really takes me out of the fucking. It just really
Shaky
takes me out.
cam and what film?
I just
Like,
came in and saw Josh's comment. Bruh,
like
I'm curious as to why you would think that.
Yeah.
I'm very curious as to
I mean,
why.
no, I'm with Half-Blood
They're
Prince.
too
Hell
good.
no.
No,
Hell
no,
no.
no,
Hell
no, no,
no.
no.
I can
Hell
honestly
no.
see, like rewatching Half-Blood Prince, there was a lot of stuff I did enjoy about it, to be honest. So I can see like why someone would like it over
Yeah.
Azkaban. But for me personally, it just feels really weird to me. Like DL, you kind of summed it up perfectly. It just feels very weird how it's shot.
It is.
Yeah, that's something I even brought up too to Bradley. It was kind of like it's the first one that's just really the shots don't match up with the rest of the films.
No, it
They
feels
don't
like
match
Yates
up
didn't
right.
direct it. It feels like somebody else tried something different. And this
Right.
is coming off of Order of the Phoenix, which was really good. So it's like I don't understand what happened.
Really, Katie, you know, like Order of the Phoenix. I personally
Dude,
Order of the
that
Phoenix.
one
love that. movie.
that one is not my favorite, but I think it's the best Harry Potter film because it manages to do what the other books couldn't do. Be a better adaptation than the book.
Interesting. Because I think what I think is kind of funny too is they condensed the Half-Blood Prince, which is the biggest book of the whole series. They condensed it into that, and they left out so much about Tom Riddle. Like, I guess in the books, I didn't read all of the books. I only read 1 through 3, and they're really good books. But I guess in the book Half-Blood Prince, you get to see like Tom Riddle's entire origin, and there's so much they didn't put in the movie. But the stuff they did put in, I did enjoy, like with Tom Riddle and the professor. I'm forgetting his name.
Slughorn.
Slughorn.
Yeah, I wish there was more Tom Riddle stuff. You know,
I mean, and Josh, you're gonna. I mean, look, you get the end part, with Alan
agree with
Rickman and stuff. Yeah, that is cool. But for me, even like as somebody that was just watching for the first time, I didn't really get the moment for me of like deep diving into Snape or like understanding it until Deathly Hallows Part 2. Until that end part when it was like
that montage
yeah.
of him and Lily Potter is one of my favorite montages of the franchise. I love that so much.
Yeah, that was great. So that was for me
Always.
when it was like that they deep dive. Half-Blood Prince kind of teased some stuff, but it ended for me like more confused about his character. Like, is he bad now? Like he turned like.
Well, like,
is he still on the good side? What's happening? Like,
the interesting thing about Snape is, he was a Death Eater in the past, and Dumbledore kind of convinced him to be a spy for him, to give him information.
Well, and not only
what's
that,
going on.
The deal was Dumbledore protects Lily.
Exactly.
And
the deal went off, but Snape would still do.
Well, yeah, that's what I love about that scene. And he's like, "Look, if you really loved Lily, you'll look out for Potter. You'll.
And he did. He always.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I still don't think he deserves the. I still don't think that Albus should have been named after him though. Like when they said Albus, no, I think should have been named after Hagrid out of anything, because he felt more like a father figure to Harry than Snape did.
I do.
Yeah.
I always felt like Hagrid, because okay, I'll just put this out there because I do have a bias. Hagrid is like one of my favorite characters in Harry Potter, if not my favorite.
I was wanting him to hook up with that giant chick.
Oh, they
so
did.
bad. I was like, get it on, Hagrid.
Swings were involved. Things were involved.
Oh,
Snakes.
All of it. All that
he's
shit.
dancing with her, and he just slides his hand.
Slides his hand on his butt. I'm
and
like,
she's like, nope. And he's like, oh, my bad, too soon. I was like, yes.
dude, how is that more engaging than the actual teen romances in these movies? The teen romances in these films suck, like really bad.
Yeah, that is.
I don't understand.
But Eddie brings up a good question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I will say this. I've said this to you the whole franchise. I wanted Harry and Luna to hook up so badly.
I don't agree with
I'm on
Some
team
people,
Harry and
some people are
Hermione.
saying that.
I'm on team
Get out of here with
Yeah,
that, dude.
Harry and Hermione. Harry and Hermione.
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
I don't understand. Okay, so here's the thing with that. I get it. You know, you read the books, it's like, but the book says this, and that. Okay, I don't care what the book says. When I'm looking at the chemistry with Harry and Hermione throughout all these movies, and they have more chemistry than what they were trying to build up with Ron and Hermione. There is no chemistry whatsoever. I mean, okay, I won't say none, because like they work off each other really well. But as far as romance, there is nothing. There is nothing. And then out of nowhere, they kiss in Deathly Hallows Part 2. I'm like, nope, that was not earned. Not at all. Y'all were like calling each other names. Y'all were throwing shots at each other. Y'all were playing hard to get. Y'all were doing this stuff to be jealous. And no, that's just that irritates me.
I agree. No, that moment did feel really out of nowhere.
Ron and Hermione kissing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you could
It's not earned.
But you could tell since like the Chamber of Secrets that they kind of liked each other and stuff
they
like
slightly
that.
held hands, but then after that,
different.
they fought in Goblet of Fire. They fought in Half-Blood Prince. They literally. Oh, Deathly Hallows Part 1. Don't get me started with that shit. But like, and now Deathly Hallows Part 2. You want to tell me that they're in love now? No.
I hate when they fight, but that scene's great.
But
Ron finally got to act. He finally said his piece. He was tired of being in the shadows. He was like, I'm done. I'm over this.
Right.
F Harry.
And then what's even worse, Harry and Ginny, there's nothing.
I agree with
nothing.
I agree with that.
Ginny
Yes.
sucks in these movies.
Yes.
Ginny
Yes,
sucks
yeah.
in these movies.
I
don't
said
think
the
she-
same. What did I say, baby? I said that relationship feels out of nowhere.
Out
I
of
don't
nowhere.
think- I mean, you could. I mean,
Not
Chamber of
out of
Secrets.
nowhere.
Chamber of Secrets. It showed you she liked him though. That's the thing.
And that's
So-
that's fine. It
Okay,
just doesn't
we
feel like
skipped
they
over-
have any chemistry.
We did
Yeah.
skip over the first two movies because, in my opinion, I don't think they're great introductions to Harry Potter. I
Okay,
think
so
they're-
here's my hot take.
What did Eddie just
I
do?
feel you, Eddie. I feel you. Okay, hold on. So since we're on the favorite movies in the franchise, here's my hottest take ever. Here's my hottest take. Sorcerer's Stone is my favorite Wizarding World film.
Really?
Sorcerer's
I mean,
Stone.
I like it.
I love it.
Sorcerer's Stone.
Every time I watch Sorcerer's Stone, it just makes me happy more than
Although-
all the other films. Because like with the other films, even though they do stuff that's better than Sorcerer's Stone, I'll admit, but like it still has problems that that frustrates me. But like Sorcerer's Stone, there's barely any problems that I have with it. Like nothing. I can't really think of anything really bad. Okay, the CGI could have been better. The
So-
child
Not
actors
good,
were
you
still
know.
trying to figure it out a little bit, but that's literally my only gripes. I love Sorcerer's Stone so much. It is so
anyway.
underappreciated because I know everyone wants to see them grown up and they
Yeah.
mature, which that's cool. That's great. We grow up with these characters. I appreciate it. But just like the first movie, just introducing the world for the first time, it just is magical every time to me.
No, it is
Wizard
an
Harry.
experience.
Answer the question.
So, Isaac, I'm with you, Isaac. Mine is Prisoner of Azkaban for sure.
Oh heck
It's just-
yeah!
It's phenomenal. Watching it, I haven't watched the movies. I only saw the last two in theaters when they first came out. So those were the only ones I saw in theaters. But watching them as a kid, they impacted my life so much and why I love movies. And I'm sure all of us can, relate to that. They're just phenomenal and they impact cinema in just so many of the best ways. And seeing these character arcs it made me. By the end of the movie, I was sobbing.
Yeah, that's
Just
one
like,
thing.
I love these movies and I love these characters.
You get super attached to the character. I was sobbing too. I was an emotional wreck.
So
Phenomenal movie.
Which was the one where I cried a lot? That it really, really.
Well, I didn't tell him, so there was a lot of scenes I showed you.
Yeah.
Before to kind of get him interested in the movies. I was like, a good way to kind of get him interested, to show him all like some cool scenes and stuff like that. But I did leave a lot of stuff out. There was a lot of deaths in Deathly Hallows that fucked
A lot of deaths.
That I was kind of laughing a little bit too. I'm like, baby, this movie's fucked.
Dude, there's even deaths
Everyone
that happen off screen while they're running. You just see important characters dead on the carcass. I'm like, wait a minute,
No,
wait,
Lupin.
what happened to that person? Wait,
Lupin.
oh god, they're just they die off screen. I'm like, fuck you, David Yates. Why would you do that?
That was the one. No, Lupin and Mad Eye fucked me up.
And Hedwig always gets me
Fuck
every time.
me. Fuck Hedwig. I don't
Dude, Hedwig. Oh god.
but
God, that hit me, man.
I'm kidding.
I hear you.
I'm kidding.
Wait, did I miss something? Whatever.
What's yours, Eddie? What's your favorite movie?
Yeah. What's your favorite?
Oh, Goblet of Fire. I don't think it's the best one, but the concept of the Triwizard Tournament is cool as hell.
It
And
is
seeing it, yeah, that's
It's
the only
super
reason
entertaining.
why.
Cool.
That's the only reason why I like it, because of the competition.
Yeah, it's cool.
No, it is good. And
I do have a
honestly-
lot of questions with it, but it's still it's entertaining. The
It's
Triwizard
super
Tournament.
entertaining. And I mean, plus you get
Yeah.
the introduction of Voldemort and all
Dude,
that.
Voldemort's return. That was
Yeah, when he goes, oh
cinema.
yeah,
Cinema.
I laugh
Yes.
so hard every time Wormtail just drops him in the fucking.
yeah.
I laughed too. I was like, what the hell?
Do it.
Actually, I got what fires up. I think for me, it's I can't decide if it's Prisoner of Azkaban or Deathly Hallows Part 2. I mean, obviously Deathly Hallows Part 2, you get as a Harry Potter. Like for me, watching it, I got everything I wanted in that movie.
Just because couples fight usually doesn't mean it's entertaining to watch. Okay? It's not.
Hey man,
You have to develop that they like each other enough
did.
to balance out them fighting so much. They didn't do that. They didn't do that.
I do love that scene of Harry and Hermione dancing when she's really sad about Ron leaving.
Yeah, that
I love
That
it.
was
very-
cute. That was so
Very
cute. See how they should be together?
No, it should be.
yeah, that's a friendship. Friend zone
But the
ass.
book says this. I don't care what the book says.
Alan.
I've never read the books.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my top three, as I said, Sorcerer's Stone or the Phoenix Deathly Hallows Part 2. So that's top three.
Wow, interesting.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say this one more time. Part 1 is a good movie.
Part 1 is a waste of time.
No, it's
I mean,
not.
no.
Really?
You know what?
It's not a waste of
I'll
time.
tell you this,
Dude,
Brown
I even
Bar-
experimented. I watched Half-Blood Prince, and then I skipped to Deathly Hallows Part 2, and I
Oh.
barely missed anything.
Oh,
I
part
barely
one.
missed anything. Yeah.
Dio, you got me.
I
say
tried-
say one more thing about Part 1. I'm gonna report this. to
It
you,
is
man.
the
This
worst
bullshit.
Wizarding World film. I will watch
It's not that bad.
all
Man, I
five.
love seeing Dial's passion.
I will watch all 5
Listen.
Fantastic Beasts movies before I watch Deathly Hallows Part 1.
It's
I'm
not
killing
that
No,
bad.
it's not.
And
It's
all
not
on-
that bad. It's. I mean, look. This is what I enjoy. You get. I mean, the perfect thing about Deathly Hallows Part 1 is it sets it up so perfectly for Part 2 to be what it needs to be.
Yes.
Part 2 needed to be the no exposition. I don't want any fucking explanation. Like, just give me a war. Give me a war and and that's exactly
You're
what
so
they did.
evil.
Entire movie.
Yeah, no. So, and on top of it, like, it was a nice, you brought up something that was nice. Like, these guys have grown as actors. They got to do some monologues. They got to. Brian.
No, he did not.
What
Brian.
did Brian say?
Brian.
Prisoner of Azkaban was a masterpiece. Get out of here.
Prisoner of Azkaban.
Amazing.
It's my second favorite because it's like it's so different from the other Harry Potter films in such a good way. It's it's got elements of horror. It's still got the kid kind of, but it's the first one in the franchise where I was like, I wish I would have seen this as a kid, because that's the first one where it's like these movies grow with their audience. Like if you were watching those movies growing up, like that movie's the first one. It's like it matures a little bit. It gives you some darker stuff. It's so for me, I love that. I love that each movie got more serious and a little bit darker and a little. It's like you feel like you're growing with the movies in a sense, and that's the only thing that I wish I would have seen them as a kid for to kind of get that experience.
I'll just
say this. Go ahead, Eddie.
No, I'll just say this. Come on, man. Part 1, being on the run from the Death Eaters and the mystery that deemed Harry Potter undesirable number 1. Like, hunting Horcruxes while all that stuff is happening. Come on, man.
Lily, you could have incorporated the Horcrux thing. What's the most important things that happened in Deathly Hallows Part 1? Voldemort finding the Horcrux, or whatever, Elder Wand and stuff like that. I guess we could put Dobby in there for people that like Dobby. You know, he died.
Oh,
you want to put that in there.
Love Dobby.
And
Dobby.
and that's about it.
What's up, Beanosh?
That's about it.
Oh, come on, man. You got me bugging. Like,
dude, even like the downtime with Ron, Harry, and Hermione was so depressing to watch because they were just so sad and they were arguing and Ron wasn't even thinking straight. I'm like, this is not what I want from a finale. Them fighting against each other.
You have to understand, like I said, they were on the run for months. They were looking for Horcruxes. They found one, but did not know how to the story at all. All that aggression, all that all that stuff about, damn, like we got this, but we can't destroy it. Or the fact that they're in the run in the first place, because obviously they're with Harry, and they would have got like tortured or whatever, or probably killed just being friends with him. It's like, all that stuff gets to you. Like they're out of their comfort zone where they have to just keep going from place to place. They had to keep doing certain things to survive right now. So it's like it makes sense that all that shit builds up, and plus Ron was wearing a Horcrux. That was probably changing his mood and all that stuff too. So
stuff, man, I literally felt like doing this after watching this damn movie.
God, yeah.
But let me talk about Prisoner of Azkaban real quick, because everyone considers that to be the best Harry Potter film. I'll give it this. As far as direction, Alfonso Cuarón is probably the best director of the Wizarding World, because he directed the hell out of that movie. That is probably the best directed film.
Bring him back for a Voldemort franchise.
Bring him back for anything.
Please, yes.
Whatever. Bring him back for anything. But and then even me personally, I felt like it got dark a little too quickly, because after Chamber of Secrets, and then it just went, gray and adult.
Chamber of Secrets did have a lot of dark undertones. More than the first.
True, but it still had that childlike wonder still around. It wasn't like an underlying thing of, things are getting darker, things are bleak. Not saying that Prisoner of Azkaban was like that. It still had its fun moments, but like you felt that was the transition of, okay, we're going to get more mature now. But the problem I have with the movie, the story is very it's very bland. The story is bland compared to all the other movies, because there's not as much happening as there is with the other films. And then as far as the Prisoner of Azkaban story, like it didn't feel like Sirius Black ends up being one of my favorite characters. Before I say what I gotta say, for people thinking that I'm hating, I love Sirius Black so much.
Agreed.
However, the whole mystery of him being a bad guy to actually he's a good guy, it just there's no flowing transition of that. It's just literally like, I'm actually good. Wait a minute, we're building this whole thing up of, he's hunting someone throughout the entire film. We're assuming that it's Harry, and then this whole thing with the rat dude and stuff like that at the end. It's like one tail. I hate him. I don't.
That's the thing about the movie, though. It was all. Come on. Nobody knew that Sirius Black was a good guy. All people were saying was a mass murderer on the loose, and then obviously since he's Harry Potter's godfather, and people assumed he was the reason that Lily and James got killed. And he was a big supporter of Voldemort, obviously, and Harry defeated Voldemort as a child, so it makes sense that people thought he was gonna go after him and shit like that. But
and then
it was a twist.
Everyone was just okay with it. Like this thing, it's just like we just transitioned to him being, I'm actually good the whole time.
Because he wasn't. It was Wormtail who betrayed them. It was Wormtail who betrayed Harry's parents in the past when it came to ratting them out. No pun intended, because he could turn into a fucking rat. But
God damn,
but
man.
no, it was a twist villain thing where the rat was the culprit all along, and nobody suspected that the rat was actually a damn person and shit. But no, I think it was. I don't think it was bland, man. That and then the side plot with the Dementors, harassing Harry and shit.
Yeah, I mean that's just it. Like, okay, Harry and friends are doing their thing in Hogwarts, whatever. Dementors are invading, and that's really all that happens in the movie until the third act. Oh wait, no, because you have that stupid time turner bullshit. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
I like
No,
it, but I get
that is the biggest
I understand.
Deus Ex Machina shit I have ever seen in my life. Wait, so Hermione has a time turner that she uses to get ahead on her classes. The most powerful object, one of the most powerful objects in the wizarding world. She can go back in time. She knows what's gonna happen. So there are so many points where they could have saved Ron and Harry with other situations, but the only thing she uses it for is so she can get ahead of classes. But now, out of all times, I'm going to use it for this instance of the only reason they're going back is so they can literally retell the events that happened after the second act.
To be fair,
that's literally the whole point of that.
To break serious.
For no
it's
reason.
Just the same serious.
To be fair.
And then hold on. I just want to make this elaborate on this point how it doesn't make any sense. So that whole Patronus thing, right? The whole mystery of there's a mystery Patronus that helps save Harry and Lupin from all the Dementors, correct? And it was a what was it, a deer Patronus, whatever that's what it showed. Okay, so I'm sorry, what was it? A stag. Yes. Okay, so when they do that stupid time turner shit, so it turns out that Harry was the one that saved Harry from Lupin, helped them from the Dementors to save Lupin and Harry. Okay, but wait, no, that's actually not the case either.
And to save Buckbeak as well.
Buckbeak, yes, of course. Oh, I love Buckbeak. Buckbeak was cool.
Same, I love Buckbeak.
Yeah, he was cute. But no, that's But that's not the case either. In Deathly Hallows Part 2, they explained that, oh, wait, Snape is the one that did that dear Patronus, so leading that was he the one that saved Harry? What was the point of all that? What was the point? No fucking point.
No, so the stag, Harry thought it was his father.
Yes.
Right? And they even changed, what I love most about it is they even changed his clothes. But we later find out when they do that time turner stuff that it was, it's pretty obvious that it was Harry who was the one who did that. So that stag, and he later says on, and I think he says it in part 1 or I think he does say in part 1 of Deathly Hallows. He does mention that his Patronus charm is a stag. So so that stag was literally him and his charm trying to tell him that. Which is interesting, but I can kind of see what you're saying about Prisoner of Azkaban. Like rewatching it, there was some issues I did have with it, but overall, like the pacing and stuff, and the time turner stuff did kind of come out of nowhere. It was
nowhere.
Like,
you're introducing something that
I do enjoy it.
Guys, it did not come out of nowhere. They established it without us knowing. They established it without us knowing because of the way Hermione was just appearing out of nowhere. And then they kept on saying, Hermione, where did you come from? It happened 3 times in the movie before they showed the time turner and what it can do. So no, they were already. It was that and the stuff about time travel with like I don't know how to explain it right, but the stuff with the pot getting hit with the rock and Buckbeak getting freed and Hermione thinking she saw herself. Like there was subtle lines about them already doing that time travel shit before they actually do it in the current present time. I don't know how to explain it, but they did establish that stuff without us knowing. Why did we have to
do that though? Why did the story call for them to go back in time and emulate what happened after the second act just to establish, they're the ones that saved their asses the entire time? That doesn't add anything to the story. That doesn't.
I think these are questions. These are questions for one person only. You know who that person is?
JK.
You know who that person
And
is?
I can answer
J.K.
every
J.K.
single
Rowling.
Oh,
And
I have
you're
a lot of questions
introducing
for her
such
as
a
well.
powerful object in the wizarding world that can impact so many things going forward. It's the biggest Deus Ex Machina of the entire
I don't know.
series.
I
Come
liked
on,
it.
man.
Hold on.
They
I
established
just want to say
Seriously
this,
is.
and then
I don't know.
I'm done with my Harry Potter comments after this. But I want to say this. I liked it because I thought it was cool. This whole thing, right? Harry, the whole time is under this belief, right, that his parents are watching over him, or that there's something that, right. I just thought it was such a cool thing that it was like in that moment, right? Like he's about to die, he sees the deer, and he's like, "Oh, Dad," whatever, or Mom, or whatever, and it comes back and it's him, and going back on the timeline and stuff. I don't know. I really liked that whole thing of just kind of like. I think for that and Harry in that moment, it was like, yeah, my parents are always with me and stuff, but he figured out some stuff on his own. He figured out that, yeah, they can't watch over him all the time. Stuff happens. Like, I don't know. I thought it was a really cool experience for Harry to see that, to be like, to think, oh, this was my parents or my dad or whatever, and then see that and go, no, it was me. It was, and so I liked it. I thought it was really cool, and so I thought that was an interesting, yeah.
No, I get the message. And Brian, I don't care what the book says.
Right.
The book is the book.
I could
The
care less
movie is
about
the
the book.
movie.
To answer Josh's
that's me with
question,
comic movies.
same,
Exactly.
same idea.
Exactly.
Um,
Okay. What did
But
you?
Josh, real quick, my favorite is the one we've been talking about for like
Yeah, Prisoner of Azkaban.
Prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh,
I just
Chamber
think
of
it's my
Secrets.
favorite. The first two, I appreciate the first two for what they did, to set up the rest of the franchise, of course, and they are very nostalgic to watch. But Prisoner of Azkaban, I think, had the biggest. It was the biggest movie that had an impact to me until I saw The Dark Knight when I was a child. So I really love that movie so much, and it has a very special place in my heart. It's probably one of my favorite movies of all time, to be honest. Just rewatching it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But there's a shit ton of comments I'm so behind on. Real quick, we'll graze over these comments, and then we'll get to some other topics.
What is our expectation for Secrets of Dumbledore before?
I already watched it.
I know he already watched it.
Wait,
Yeah.
did it already come out? Oh crap! It
I'm
came out
excited.
today. I didn't
Isaac.
even remember till now.
I want to watch it.
Isaac. What are your thoughts, Isaac?
On Secrets of Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Oh crap! Hold up! I just unplugged my headphones.
You're
Okay,
good.
okay, I'm back. Wait, what did you say?
Oh, what are your DL said? What are your expectations for Secrets of Dumbledore?
I'm not really the biggest fans of the first two Fantastic Beasts movies. I've heard that it might be the best one. I don't even know if I'm gonna watch it this weekend. I might, if I hear good enough reviews, I'll watch it next weekend. But I don't really have like the highest expectations.
No, I'm on the same boat as you, pretty much.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about this, like all of us, but we've already been talking about this for like 30 minutes. But I'll quickly just discuss my issue with it. I don't care at all that Dumbledore, I don't give a shit about Dumbledore's sexuality at all. I'm not going to sit here and bitch and complain about it. I could care less. It's just the fact that it just feels very unnatural timing. Like we've always known, like she's been saying this shit since 2007, and in the books, she's alluded to it. But I just feel it's out of nowhere for the franchise.
Yeah.
Like the first two movies, like I really enjoy. I don't like Eddie Redmayne, but I do enjoy Newt Scamander and his story and the way he interacts with the cast of characters that are with him, and just the beasts and stuff like that. And I was really hoping they would kind of leer away. Like at first, I was like, I kind of want them to introduce some legacy characters, backstory, maybe like Dumbledore and stuff like that. But then once they did it in Crimes of Grindelwald, I was like, yeah, I think it's better off leaving Dumbledore out of this. And now the third movie is it's his own movie now. And it's all about him being gay and in love with Grindelwald, which cool. I'm actually pretty excited to see it, to be honest, when it comes out on HBO Max, because I just don't really see it in theaters. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on it, to be honest. Like I'm gonna watch it. but my expectations are very, very low because the last movie was not that good. And I have some theories about and some questions about Ezra Miller's character and whether or not he's actually the brother, one of Dumbledore's brothers. I think he might be his son or something along those lines. I don't know, or his nephew. He might be his nephew. I don't know.
Well, who's next? So I can come. I can talk about it. Last spoil the whole damn movie for you guys.
Please don't, because I'm going to see it tomorrow.
At least give us a non-spoiler review right now, Eddie.
So yeah, guy.
Yes, I do want to hear your thoughts.
Voldemort shows up in the movie.
Played by Chris Rock.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
brother.
No, I'm just kidding. He's like 5 years old. No, he doesn't show up at all. Well, I won't say anything. I'm just joking.
Man, you're already trying to spoil it.
No. I swear I was just joking when I said that shit. But,
God damn it.
Man.
But
Yeah, man.
it's in my head now. It's in my head now.
Bruh, this is it. No, just no.
If I don't see baby Voldemort,
Voldemort
did
didn't
not
show up. I'm boycotting.
in the
Oh my
Wizarding
God.
World at all. Chris Rock should not be in the Wizarding World. But I really want this franchise to succeed. I really do.
Me too.
But I mean, yes, the films have problems. I thought the first one was fine, and I thought the second one was fine. Around they're fine. I don't hate Crimes of Grindelwald like everyone else does, but it does have
Neither.
problems. But like I really do want this franchise to succeed because I think it's interesting what they're doing, as far as the story and the characters. Like I'm willing to see where the direction goes, but it's like it's sad that, everyone's just like the Wizarding World's dead after one bad movie. Like, can we forget that most of the Harry Potter films are good? The one bad thing off the road doesn't mean it's a failure all of a sudden. But like, the main reason I want this to succeed is because we don't know when we're going to get any more Wizarding World content after this.
That's true.
We don't know.
well,
That's
we'll
not-
get,
that's
we'll
not
get
gonna
Hogwarts
totally-
Legacy.
I
That
mean,
counts.
yes,
That's
the video games, but
That
it's like
counts.
as far as movies and even shows, like that's pretty much up in the air. And then we don't know if they'll ever do a film adaptation of Cursed Child, or if anyone else would want to do a filmed adaptation of Cursed Child. But it's just like, I at least want to see where it goes with 4 and 5, and hearing that 3 is, probably the best so far. Like it gives me hope that they're steering in the right direction. I just hope people will give it a chance. I don't know if it will. I'm preparing that this might be the last Fantastic Beasts movie, which will probably make me sad. Even you guys saying that I'm going to wait to see this in theaters, that this movie probably won't have a chance financially, which is sad. So it's like I really want to see 4 and 5, but I'm preparing for it not to do well, and this will probably be the last Fantastic Beasts movie, which will be sad. But like at the end of the day, I hope it's good. I've liked what they do so far.
I do hope it's good. And like I was like you brought it up, I was kind of telling Austin, this is the last, we'll talk about this. But I was telling Austin, as much as I don't really like where they're going with the Fantastic Beasts movies, I'm just glad in general we have more Harry Potter content in the Wizarding World, like you said, because we didn't have stuff since 2011. So it's been almost, the first movie came out like 2018, 2017. 16. That's right. So we were without Harry Potter for a while, and we were getting them consistently since 2000 for 10 years, for 11 years. We were getting them every single year, back to back. So I am glad we're getting more, content.
Exactly.
And I do hope they go forward with the other 2 movies too. I really do.
Right.
And about the Tom Riddle stuff, like I heard, I saw Caden brought up. He sees the Tom Riddle trilogy. If they do, I'll watch it. I'll take anything Harry Potter.
Yeah, I'll watch that shit
But
too.
I don't think the story of Tom Riddle is just that interesting enough to make a whole trilogy. Maybe like a solo movie. Go ahead.
Fuck the Tom Riddle story. Nobody gives a shit about Tom Riddle.
You're bugging.
I think we Tom Riddled out.
This
The
this
Riddler.
is what we need. And it was one of the, like, I stopped the movie for Bradley because I was like, this line is a franchise in itself. It was when Sirius Black, tells Harry, 13, 14 years ago, Voldemort came back. There was a war. There was all of this. We almost lost everything. And I was like, that I want to see that. Fuck Tom Riddle. Show me 14 years before the event of Harry Potter when he comes back and they almost lose everything.
Yes.
Give me a young Sirius Black, a young Lupin,
Lily and James.
It would be so great to bring these major characters like Sirius back in a way that shows the events. That for again, no, fuck Tom Riddle.
No, we don't need a Tom Riddle.
Come on, guys.
Tom
Riddle need it. Like,
no, it's not that he's boring. It's just that there's not really much to really go on. Like, and his story is pretty simplistic. I mean, it'd be cool to do it, but his story is actually pretty simplistic. I mean, he starts toying with dark magic and stuff. His curiosity gets the best of him, and what happens ends up happening. He progresses and ends up killing, Harry Potter's parents.
Right.
And he transforms because here's the dark magic. I'm pretty sure, turns him into that grotesque figure. So there's not really much to go on like for a whole trilogy. And it's just not that interesting to me. But what Austin brought up, I would love to see that.
Like, man, I'm surprised they didn't try and do that already. Like, that's like
Me too.
That's the story that I definitely want.
I think the only thing, obviously, is
Me too, Brian.
Snape would have to be involved. Alan's past. That would be kind of sad and stuff. But like I said,
dude, we are still in the David Yates era where everything is still depressing.
I think that's the thing. Yeah, we need to see some of these. Like, I think that's a big thing for, at least to me, what it seems like, fans of the franchise. Like, to see some of these big name characters come back and get, for us to see some of their backstory and stuff. That's, like I said, like Sirius and Lupin and even Snape and all of that. And Snape was a Death Eater, and I'd love to see some of that and all. And how he goes to Dumbledore and is like, "Hey, protect
becomes a professor at Hogwarts."
Right. Like, there's a lot of good stuff in one sentence in Prisoner of Azkaban that was like, oh man,
so much potential.
Anthony,
so much potential.
You just made my day, my guy. All this time, ever since Scream 5 came out, he's been giving me shit, trolling me, saying all these other trash movies are better than Scream 5. Finally, he says Scream 5 is better than another movie.
I haven't seen Scream 5 still, but
it's really good.
Yeah, I saw it's on Paramount Plus. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, it's actually.
Do you guys want them? Huh? Say again.
Go ahead. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I heard it's good. Do you guys want them to try and do Cursed Child?
In like 10 or 20 years, yeah.
So I think, honestly, let them do the Fantastic Beasts stuff. I think the biggest thing I'm honestly concerned about, but I do want them to try and do something without J.K. Rowling.
Dude,
so involved.
This franchise will thrive so much when she's not involved.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Like,
I think she should be more in the background more than she is up front. She's very assertive in her role in these movies and how they work and stuff like that. And I understand she's very protective of her creation. I can understand that. And
in terms of Cursed,
I think. Go ahead, Eddie.
No, in terms of Cursed Child, lots of people think that shit's trash.
What if they loosely adapt this?
That's what I said. They're gonna have to change it up
I think
because of the stuff with the time turner, all that stuff didn't really make sense because how that stuff is established and going back to save Cedric from dying, all that shit changes the time. Like lots of weird shit. I know Chris Columbus said he wanted to do it with like the cast, to bring back the cast to do that shit, but it's like.
I am totally up for that. I'm totally up for that.
I would see that.
They're gonna have to change it up.
I don't know. I think even Brian made a good point. Yeah, as far as Harry's done, unless you do kind of like that Voldemort story, I'd love to see what's going on in America. What's going on in other countries with wizards.
Yeah, me too. I want to see the other wizarding schools.
Yes.
Yeah. Evermorny.
About that.
Yeah.
I mean, we got that with Fantastic Beasts, though. I know it's back. It's sets back in the 1920s and shit, but that is New York and all that stuff. I mean, besides that, we saw the wizard community and Crimes of Grindelwald in France. Freaking, I know the Secrets of Dumbledore. You're gonna see it in Germany and Brazil and stuff like that. Which is, like I said, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe they'll probably make like a show or like a movie just solely based in.
They probably will.
And like something, like I said, I don't know.
Brian, if I was writing Chris Child as a movie, the time turner stuff, no,
Yeah,
we're getting
leave all that shit out.
we're doing it
You
different.
know, that's pretty much all our thoughts on Harry Potter.
Sorry, we
I'm-
went like 50 minutes talking about
Yeah, like,
Wizarding World.
that's okay. There's a lot to cover about Harry Potter. You know, it's
Yeah.
huge. There's a lot to
Yeah.
cover and talk about and stuff. I love having conversations about it.
Yeah. I think we all agree that JK is transphobic and
Oh my God, Eddie, no, bad Eddie.
I'm not touching that.
and those tweets were kind of weird and
Oh my God.
there's a reason why she wasn't part of the 20-year reunion on HBO Max. She didn't show up to the premiere in the United States of Secrets of Dumbledore.
She didn't.
And
No.
she showed up at the London one, obviously, because
Of course.
those are her peeps right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's all I have to say. It is what it is. She obviously, even if she's not part of the process of whatever, obviously she's still gonna get money off it because she's the one who created all this shit in the first place. But it is what it is when it comes to her. I don't. You know, there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, there's nothing you can
just
do
have to
about
go
it.
with
You could bitch, but
Yep.
you could bitch, but lots too many people love Harry Potter. It's like Star Wars. So many people love that shit to really complain or try to boycott, I guess. I mean, you could try, but
I agree.
I-
You know, I agree, Brian. Harry Potter is not talked about enough, even though it's very beloved in the world. But it's not
I
talked about enough
know.
on streams and stuff. And I would love to watch Harry Potter debates and stuff. Brian, we might. I was thinking, okay, I was thinking eventually we would get some of the older guys on here, and we'll have some debates about some stuff like young opinion versus an older perspective and
Exactly.
stuff. So I thought that would be pretty interesting. But yeah, moving on to our next topic. Obviously, Moon Knight has just started a few weeks ago. DL, have you watched Moon Knight?
I only watched the first episode.
You watched the first one? Okay. What were your thoughts on it? What were your thoughts?
It's cool. It's all right. There's a lot of interesting concepts they threw in there, and just keep in mind, I don't know that much about the source material, but like it was really interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was it was strange. I don't know, because there was a lot of tones clashing in there. I don't know. It was different than what we usually see from Marvel. So it's like, in a way, I respect it. It's cool. It's darker. It's more weird. It's more dark. So it's like it's something I think is really interesting. But just like I'm not sure how to feel about it yet. I don't know. I have to watch more so I can get more of a feel. The split personality stuff was interesting to watch, but I'm like, this is really out there. It's
It is.
yeah. I was having a hard time following the
Oh, for Paramount Plus.
Oh, I feel that, man. But you got to go, Brian. Have a great day. Much love to you. And me and
See
Austin
ya,
were talking
Brian.
out because me and Austin are going to go visit Sacramento, my hometown, here in a few months. And on our way back, we do want to stop by in Reno and come and hang out with you, Brian. And we'll have a good time. We'll have a good time. You know what I mean?
We'll have a couple of laughs. Go down the ghosts.
Dear God,
Whatever.
I love it.
That movie's
Absolutely love it. Okay, no, we're not getting into Die Hard. No, we're not.
No,
doing
we're not going to Die Hard.
No,
But
we're not doing this.
the only bad one was the last one.
And the first
Yes.
one.
Oh, and the fourth one was bad.
And the first one.
Fourth one was kind of guilty pleasure for me.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to get a sandwich. We're gonna go to lunch or some dinner or something. Get high as fuck. Get some food.
Yeah. Come get a sandwich. Yeah, man.
Hell yeah. But I'm kind of with you, DL. Like, I'll be honest. Babe, do you want to tell the story? Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah, I'll
he's-
tell the story.
He's gonna
So-
tell a story of how
so-
I went to bed last night
so-
watching Moon Knight.
So,
All right.
So it's midnight. You know, we got our bowls loaded and everything. Smoke our bowls, do the whole 9 yards. Start the show. Watching it, sitting here relaxing. I look over. He's knocked out. Knocked out. Look over again. Bam, he's awake. Again, knocked out. Again, awake. Finally, it gets to the point where I'm watching. I just gave up. I wasn't gonna wake him up or anything. So, we're watching the show. I'm watching the show, and I just like a band. He's just like, all right, I'm done. I just And then he proceeds to go off for about like 3 straight minutes about how I had said before Moon Knight came out, I was like, look, it's not even going to come close to the level of, Daredevil or what Netflix did in violence and maturity. It just all of it. I just never saw it happening.
Mhm.
So pause the show. He goes off for 3 minutes going, you know what? You were right. Fuck Kevin Feige. He did this. He did blah, 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 blah. And just goes,
He lied.
He lied to me. He did
lied.
all of this. Then goes, and you know what? I'm done. I'm not watching the rest. And just jumps straight into bed.
Donovan.
Donovan!
What's up, Donovan? How you doing?
Donovan! Thanks, bro. But
Love it.
I can touch you now.
But no, so he just proceeds to go to bed. And we did not finish the episode. So obviously Bradley is in love with the series. He can't wait for next week.
So thrilled. So thrilled.
It's
Man.
everything he's wanted and more. Yeah, you're good. But
I keep telling you, these shows are on some bullshit. I mean, but okay, it's too early to say about Moon Knight because it's only 3 episodes, so it could get their shit together. I haven't seen 2 and 3, so I'm really literally speaking out of my ass. But it's just like,
Right.
dude, these shows are on some bullshit. Seriously, man. And did you really expect them? Did you really expect them to go Netflix Marvel violent? Did you
So-
really?
He
expect
did?
that?
So
Bradley did.
No,
I had my expectations.
No, you played
I
yourself.
I
You
never
played yourself.
I never expected them to go full on Netflix Daredevil or anything because nothing will ever touch Daredevil, no matter what.
No,
No matter what comes out next, nothing will ever be as good as Daredevil.
no.
Only
Unless
Daredevil
Blade is
will be
rated
good.
R. Unless Blade is rated R, there's nothing else.
No, but my thing was what got me really intrigued was Kevin Feige. There hasn't been one moment yet where this has been true. So I'm going to give it a chance. I'm waiting for this moment. Okay. And if there is a moment, I'll retract this. But he said there was moments where the audience will be, like, oh, they're going to pull away. They're not going to show the rest of this scene because it's so violent.
If it's episode 5 and 6,
Nothing
I'm going to be mad. I'm going to
nothing
be mad.
yet.
If
But
it's
I
episode
am.
5 and 6, I'm going to be mad.
It is. It's gonna. It's gonna be 5 and 6.
They
yeah.
do this
No.
every time. Every
They're going to
fucking
condense. They're going to condense everything they've been building up to in the last 45 minutes of the episode, and they're going to have a fight, and they're going to end the show. That's how all of these shows have worked so far. And much love, Donovan. Thank you for coming by and watching. Have a great day. Have a great one.
Love you,
Disagree,
Don.
Anthony. That's all you have to say. Is just disagree.
time. You can disagree with whatever you want. It's
Tell me
probably because
why.
when I
Tell me
said the
why.
Marvel shows were shit, the Marvel shows are shit. But
Jack Quaid is pretty good in Scream 5. It's pretty good, and I won't give anything away.
I called it.
About the
I will
movie.
say I called he was the killer from the trailer.
wait,
called it.
He
Yeah,
already
wait,
said it.
wait.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I just said that. I'm gonna watch it on
Baby.
Paramount Plus. I'm gonna watch it.
Scream 5 is woke.
Oh my God, Eddie.
Honestly, no. Scrifortum is woke. If you want to talk about woke stuff, because the killer was a woman. Yeah, Scrifortum.
Oh my God. So there is some stuff about Scream 4 I do enjoy and I don't like, but I do enjoy that scene where Emma Roberts just messes herself up, like she smashes herself against the wall, pulls her hair out, freaking stabs herself and slams herself against a glass table. That scene is pretty cool.
Fucking metal.
No, you ruined the movie for him. Okay, so
I'll
will
just
say
forget you just said that. I'll forget you just said that.
it is a really good movie though. I had low expectations for it because Scream 4, I'm very mixed on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I went into it really excited because I just love Scream in general. And I was excited for a new movie because it's been 10 years. But it was really good. It blew my expectations out of the window. It's really, really good. If you just take it for what it is, it's just another Scream movie. It's a pretty cut edge, cut to the chase, Scream movie.
Man, how many puns could you put in that recommendation?
I know. And I will say that was unintentional.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
No, it is a getting pretty good. The Scream movies, but there's one big thing I did want to talk about, and then we'll get on to some quick topics and stuff and end the show. But So this article came out a few weeks ago. I wanted to talk about it when when we did the first episode, but we just talked about so much stuff, couldn't get to it. But Machine Gun Kelly, okay, I have some very strong opinions about this man and his role in the music industry and what he thinks he can get away with and how people see through his shit. Okay, I just think it's very interesting how he did a diss video on Eminem, right? One of the probably the greatest white rapper in history. Okay, got roasted by Eminem. His whole rap career went down the drain. His whole fucking fandom hates him now, pretty much. And then he thinks he can switch. You know what goes in his head? He's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do rock now. I'm gonna try to go in the rock sphere and see if they'll accept me. Nope.
I haven't heard this rock stuff.
It's really bad. But you know what he does next? He tries to spread lies about Corey Taylor, the lead singer of Slipknot, which is pretty much
God.
He's a god in the metal community. Like people worship Corey Taylor. And so Corey Taylor called him out on it. You know, basically the rundown of that was Corey Taylor, Machine Gun Kelly reached out to him to do a song, to do a few, lines for a song and stuff. And Corey Taylor was going to do them, but he's just so busy being a dad and stuff like that. Last minute, he dropped out respectfully and said, no hard feelings. Like, I hope you guys have the greatest success with this album and stuff like that. And he led very respectfully and stuff and just said, I hope you find someone else that can do it for you. And Machine Gun Kelly basically said that, he dropped out, or Machine Gun Kelly, he said that he fired him and said all this bullshit and all these lies. And Corey Taylor basically called him out. But there's this other lead singer of Bring Me the Horizon that I love. I love Bring Me the Horizon. And they both kind of came out and talked about the gatekeeping issue in the metal community, which there is. There is a gatekeeping issue in every community.
Every single one, yes.
So it's always going to be there. But Oliver Sykes did bring up a few things I want to bring up that I'm just like, dude, like, you're obviously not listening to the right people. But I think this is just kind of funny. Like, this article is just kind of funny to me. But basically, Machine Gun Kelly and Ollie Sykes have laughed off rock and metal elitists who continue to insist that neither artist belong in their respective scenes. The duo make an appearance on BBC Radio 1's Future Sounds with Clara Amfo to promote the new album's collaboration, Maybe, discussed that impacted both their careers or hasn't, as the case seems to be. When asked about giving his new album provocative title and mainstream sellout, MGK notes, it feels brave because when I said the name originally after I changed it, okay, I don't give a shit about what your album's called. You can go, okay. I just kind of want to get to the Ollie stuff. All right, this is where Oliver Sykes chimes in. We obviously relate on a massive scale as well, adds Ollie. We started off as a death metal band, but we were never death metal. We've never been metal enough for the metal community. We've never been rock enough. We've gone through this whole thing, so we completely get it and vibe. To me, it's like gatekeeping is quite a funny thing with everything that goes on in the world. I like how some people's biggest cry is that they think someone shouldn't be in a certain scene. It's just a mad thing for people to get upset about, but it's fun to poke fun at. What I find interesting about that is he said, Bring Me the Horizon wasn't metal enough for the metal community. Now, if you're familiar with their work, they first started out pretty hardcore death metal, and they're phenomenal. Their old stuff is great. And even some of their older stuff from like the 2014 era and stuff is pretty decent. But they progressively got worse because they listened to people like this. So I think that's an issue with creatives and artists and stuff. Like, don't listen to those people. If people are saying you're not metal enough for a scene and you're not good enough for the industry, don't listen to those people. Do your own thing, my guy. Fucking, if you want to change the style of your music, go for it. But if you're doing it for the mere cause of listening to the naysayers and the haters, then you're giving into everything you're poking fun at. I just think it's kind of ironic in a way. What do you guys think?
Well, yeah, I agree with that. Like, regardless of what genre you fall in, like, music is music, art is art, and you make music of however you feel, like music is supposed to convey like emotion out of you, and it's like the music is supposed to translate how people feel, like it's because they're storytelling pretty much. It's so it's like I don't know, we are in this weird thing of like yeah, gatekeeping when it comes to genres, whether it's like hip hop, like it's not hard enough, or with country even like it don't sound country enough either, or
Yeah,
like
exactly.
everything's saturated with pop and everything. I'll admit there's like certain artists that I listen to where it's like they try to do different genres and I personally don't feel like they work very much, but it's like
Yeah,
I'm not gonna tell them not to do it. Like for example, Taylor Swift. Um I actually liked her country stuff a lot. She's one of the few artists that makes me want to listen to country at the time.
no, I
Then when
grew up with her stuff and grew up with country music.
hmm then
There's
when I'm sorry, go ahead.
it is, I will say, country music, like I'm not a huge fan of it, but if you find good country music, it's really good.
Yeah.
There are good country music for everyone. It's not, as a whole, it's not complete trash. There's no genre as a whole that's trash. There is good
No.
stuff.
Yeah, I listen to all types of music. Like the
Yeah.
only one I have a hard time listening to is like metal and screamo stuff. Like that's probably the
Yeah.
only one I have the hardest time listening to. But I'm not gonna
I
say
love it.
that's
I
not
love
music. Yeah, like you enjoy it, and like yeah, please enjoy it if you do. I just personally I can't sit down and listen to it. Like I don't know, but it's just like when Taylor Swift slowly started to transition into pop, I wasn't
it. Yeah.
enjoying it as much. But like if that's a genre that she likes to do, then continue to make music. Like I don't like that certain artists are put in a bubble. Like if they
I agree.
started out this way, it feels like they have an obligation to stay in that genre, and that's not necessarily true. Because music can,
But this, it's just very, I can see like why I don't think people should gatekeep anything and be like, you have to stay metal, you have to stay in that
Mhm.
genre. You can't progress as a band or as human beings. It's basically what you're saying. Those people, you can't progress because not only are they progressing their sound, they're going through things in their personal lives that they feel like this is something I want to do next. This is a new start for me, something I can do different, and kind of experiment with new sounds and you know start a new brand. But honestly, I'll say I just think it's Machine Gun Kelly. He obviously has a right to say whatever he wants and feel the way that he wants, but you have no right to bitch and complain about the community of metal and rap when you burned your ship down, my guy. You literally burned that flag down. You did that all by yourself. You're the one who wanted to go at Eminem and Corey Taylor, two of the biggest people in those communities, in the industry alone, not
Mhm.
just in those communities, in the industry. Okay, so
Yeah.
don't even cry wolf, bro.
Yeah, I've never even been a big fan of Machine Gun Kelly. Like, no, there's only like two songs that I listen to that I'm like, that's okay. Like, Wild Boy, that's a fun little song, a dumb little song with Waka Flocka, and
But
I
Jerry
forgot
Lee,
Morbius is better than Screep. I still haven't seen Morbius.
I will
Uh,
not see that. I will
I'll
not see
probably see it next week on a matinee on when the tickets are the discount. But
There's just so many movies I want to go see. I want to go see Sonic
you still haven't
2.
seen Sonic?
I have not. I
It's
do.
really
Okay,
good.
there's one thing we won't talk about it, but I was talking to Austin because I kind of was digging and kind of thinking about what the post credit scene is going to be and what they're going to set up next. And I was just looking at like Sonic's villains and stuff from the games, and
Hmm.
I saw a certain villain. I won't say the name, okay, because I don't want to spoil any of the movie for anyone, but I
Hmm.
spoiled it for myself. Okay, I was telling Austin about it. Like they're gonna introduce this character next. I guarantee it. And if they don't, I'd be shocked. And they did. I was right. So that
Dude,
was I felt very good about myself that day.
dude, I dude, like it was the appearance of that
I was,
character. and there was something else that happened in the climax of the movie.
Mm.
I thought both of those we weren't going to get in the movie.
Oh,
I
there's
thought they were
another
going to
one.
save. Huh? Oh well,
There's another one.
there's not a surprise, another surprise character, but there's a big thing that happens in the games that's in the climax of the movie that I didn't think they were going to do
Oh
yet,
shit.
and it's in this movie. And I was like, you'll know exactly what it is when it happens. But
Okay.
I'm like, oh my god, they did this movie. I'm so happy.
I'm so hyped. I've been hearing great things, and that
Yeah.
I want to see that Everything Everywhere All at Once. I've heard phenomenal things
Yeah.
about that.
That looks really good.
I'm a sucker for originality, especially like just the fact that they turned down Loki to do their own original multiverse story. Just I'm like, wow.
Heck, yeah, man. We've
Walker
prepped
Dead,
you
what's
for it.
up, man? It's been forever. I haven't seen. So we're multi-streaming on my channel too. So everyone who's watching on my channel, I'm so sorry. I haven't been doing anything for months.
Yeah, you've been gone off the face
Really?
of the earth.
I've just been pretty low key recently, and I've been sick the past few weeks too, so I haven't been on streams. But hope you're doing well, Walker Dead. It's been a minute. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to talk about. The Oliver Sykes Machine Gun Kelly thing. There is one thing that did come out yesterday that I was pretty mixed on. Or the other day, the Percy Jackson casting. Now I'm a huge fan of Percy Jackson.
Oh,
I love the books, and I've been really excited for them to announce the casting and stuff. At first, I didn't like the Adam Project. I just don't. Ryan Reynolds is enough for me right now. Seeing two of him is just like, oh my god, kill me. Like we literally turned it off. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I didn't finish it. I'm done with it. I'm so over Ryan Reynolds. I love him as Deadpool. Like, fuck, dear God, please stop. Take a break or something. But I love the choice now. At first, I was mixed, but I love it. What do you think about that choice, guys?
I think it's great, actually. I actually really enjoyed the Adam Project. And for me, like, yeah, we know Ryan Reynolds. He you know what we're gonna get from him. For me, I thought it was a more of a, it was a more serious Ryan Reynolds than what we're usually getting. He still had his like, his bits here and there, but like I didn't feel like it was like typical like the Ryan Reynolds that we usually get. The kid was actually more Ryan Reynolds than Ryan Reynolds was.
That was my issue.
But like and that's the thing, like it's that right there that makes me think that he's going to be a great Percy Jackson, because his delivery and his timing in that movie is impeccable.
Yes.
Impeccable. So like I don't think we're necessarily going to get that same performance for Percy Jackson, but it's just like seeing how good this kid acts, working off of Ryan Reynolds, like I think he'll do really well as in the lead role. Yeah. Me, I haven't read the Percy Jackson books. I saw both of the movies and I thought they were eh. And I heard from book people that the movies are awful. And I'm like, I totally see that because it feels like they made stuff up in those movies. But like, I'm more interested to see a more book accurate series on Netflix. From what I'm hearing.
The first one is more of like a cut to the chase version of the book. Like they kind of cut out all the big moments of Percy Jackson's like life in that book and kind of put it into the movie. They didn't add any of the really like context stuff and like more of the demigods. They didn't really go into the demigods and the god stuff and the relationships that Poseidon and Zeus had with humans and Athena and all that stuff. So there's a lot of interesting stuff they didn't touch on in the movies. I like the first one. The second one is absolute unwatchable. I watched it recently, like a year ago, I think, just to remind myself, because I just watched the first two movies. It's been so long, and the second one was like, oh my, I turned it off. It's like, oh my god,
I didn't know what was going on. To be honest.
Eddie, you're back. Whoa, back, Eddie. I missed you.
When it comes to the movies, in my opinion, Sea of Monsters is a cinematic masterpiece. I think I can speak for all Percy Jackson fans when I say Sea of Monsters was really faithful to the source material, and it made sense that movie was just unbelievable in terms of what it did for the franchise. Sea of Monsters,
Destroyed.
every time I see a review for Sea of Monsters, I can tell
Yeah,
people really enjoyed it. Like I said, it makes sense why people call this the best book adaptation of all time. Because Sea of Monsters was a
Look
good
out,
movie.
Harry Potter! Look out, Hunger Games!
I
No,
agree. Gabe.
I'm just
Pretty
kidding. That shit was trash. But I do like the first movie. Um, I like the kid that they got from the Adam Project. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see it on Disney Plus to see a more faithful adaptation. Because even the guy who wrote the books was telling these guys who what company were the movies from again? Lionsgate, right?
No,
Yeah, I'm
it's
pretty
from.
sure they're Lionsgate. Yeah.
Wasn't
Were
it
they?
20th Century Fox?
I don't
I'm
remember.
not sure.
I'm about to look it up right
But
now.
no, he was telling them not to do
20th century.
the shit they were.
20th century.
Oh yeah, but
Okay.
he was telling them not to do the shit they were gonna do with the first movie while making them older because the prophecy obviously
Yeah.
doesn't have he's way too old. This shit he's supposed to be like what 12, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
And then
You
some
know
other
what
stuff
most-
about rushing some of the stuff that happened in the book. Like I said, I guess this is the best thing about it being a TV show. You can expand more on the stuff from the books than just a movie.
Oh yeah. I hope
And-
it's more than 6-8 episodes though. It better be at least like 10.
It
13.
it depends though, because if they had to use like CGI and special effects, all that shit, right? All the magic bullshit,
Yeah.
like the creatures
Well,
and all
what-
that stuff.
What makes me like really excited, and I'm very, I respect their decision to do this, is involve Rick Riordan on set. Like the author of the books on set, he's a part of casting. Like he's the one who told Walt, I think his name's Walker Scobell, was it? He told him on Zoom, he was announced. So I really think that's cool. Like the author, the creator of
Yeah.
the franchise is this involved in not even just the casting, but in the script, in the writing of the show.
Yeah.
I hope it's not too much because we've
Not
seen
yet.
how that happens with JK. So
Exactly. Sometimes the creator doesn't know what's best for their creation. Sometimes I just hope they don't change anything. 'Cause there's not really anything they need to change. They just need to add stuff to, just get to the Titans curse.
Are you just saying that because you're a fan of the books?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
I'm
well,
blinded. I'm blinded by my love.
so to be realistic, they can make changes from the books as long as it keeps the spirit and the integrity of what the book is, but they have to make it accessible for
New
a
audience.
show. Yeah, into
That-
new audiences.
Audience. Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
So I'm willing to, if they change some stuff, cool. I'm willing to take it. As long as it doesn't affect, like you said, the integrity of the story and stuff like that. But I'm just really hoping, just please be good enough to get renewed for at least to get to the point where you can do the Battle of the Labyrinth, the Titan's Curse. Just please.
It's on
be
Disney
good.
Plus, right?
I hope.
Yeah,
I just really hope it's good.
Yeah, it's got to prove himself there.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
But there's something interesting that came out a few hours before we started, or I think an hour, like 20 minutes before we started. The director, Joseph Kosinski. I don't know if he's the director or not. Is he? Maybe. That's what I said. But someone said that they shot over 800 hours of footage for Top Gun 2, and I was like, holy shit.
800 hours.
800 hours. So they have enough for, the next movie, Jesus Christ. But I'm interested to hear why. I don't know if there's an article about that or not. But I thought that was like, why? Why do you have that much footage? Like, how much did you reshoot? Like, how many cuts are of this movie? Like 15? Like, Jesus Christ. 800 hours.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good chunk of them training to fly the planes, or I
have no idea. Yeah, it's probably has to do with COVID and stuff like that.
Probably.
But maybe, I don't know. There's just script rewrites or something like that. I have no idea.
Well, they got plenty of time since they pushed it back so many times. So.
That's true. They pushed it back so many times.
But then again, it didn't help with Morbius, apparently.
Pretty much. As soon as, I was actually, the sad thing about Morbius was I was actually looking forward to it. The last trailer they released, I was like, okay, I'll give this movie a chance. It actually looks pretty interesting. And then the second they pushed it back, the last time to April 1st, I was like, I don't give a shit.
No.
I don't care. So I watched the third act on my phone. I'm not going to say how I watched it, but
We know how you did.
it was terrible from what I saw. And the post-credit scenes were just a slap in the face. Just
I already heard about the credit scenes. I already know what they are.
oh my
But that's the shit I was worried about. Them forcing. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil for people that haven't seen it, but them forcing. You know what I'm talking about? Forcing what they're forcing for their Sony franchise. Bullshit.
Yeah.
I hate this Sonyverse so much.
Trash. I don't care. Like, I just, you know what bugs me the most is I know what they're doing. You know, we all pretty much know what they're doing. Is they're setting up a Sinister Six, you know, meet up with Spider-Man.
They have
you know,
such a
probably
hard-on
Tom
for
Holland.
Sinister Six. God.
But what bugs me the most is if the villains of the Sinister Six that fight Tom Holland are all variants from different universes, they're not Tom Holland's villains, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, we just
Where
got
is
that.
Tom Holland's versions of these villains? Come on. Where's his Green Goblin? Where is his Electro? You know, where is his villains like that? I mean, I don't expect them to do the same villains that we already seen the fight in No Way Home. You know, but at least give him his own versions of these villains, you know?
Yeah, please. Like, I mean, what else is left? I mean, if we're not counting the ones we saw from No Way Home, we got Chameleon and Craven, which they're about to be in Craven movie, and
you know, by the time they get to
Scorpion, still haven't used Scorpion.
it's going to do that. They should. They really should.
Yeah.
So I can see probably Scorpion and their version of Venom being the last two members, and then by the third movie, we'll get the Sinister Six fight and all that shit. Yeah, I could probably see that. But other than that, I have no interest in what Sony's doing. The Craven movie, no interest.
I don't now after what's going on with Morpheus, and then Madam Web. Why is that happening? Why?
Christ, I have no idea. I have no idea why it's happening. But I don't know. Just it's a whole mess what they did with Morbius. It's just I don't trust them to do anything good after what they did with Venom. So, yeah,
I didn't know.
I don't know what people were expecting. Like I know a lot of people were expecting it to be good, and that's okay. But like after Venom, like
yeah, do you really expect?
Do you expect them to do
quality?
Do you expect them to try? Because they didn't try. They didn't.
No. As soon as you let a PG-13 Venom movie make $800 million, all shit going out the window now.
We're doomed. Absolutely doomed.
Without Spider-Man, you made a Venom movie without Spider-Man, PG-13, $800 million. That gave the green light to be, we can do whatever we want now.
Don't even start. Don't even start. We were doing so well, Anthony. Made my day. Made me smile. And now you're no.
Morbius is not better. Well,
I not acknowledge that.
Yeah, I doubt it. Even though I haven't seen either of these movies, but I doubt that Morbius is better than Scream 5.
No, but before we close out, the last thing I kind of want to talk about is what have you guys been watching recently? Movies, TV shows, or just in general, what do you think is some underrated recommendations that you would recommend to some people that are watching the show?
You go ahead, Eddie.
Well, I don't know. Lately, I've been on Pornhub.
Me too, bro. Hey!
Let me be serious.
Just broke up with my girlfriend.
Wait, I want to do one thing. I want you to repeat that. Okay. After this, I want you to repeat that after this. Okay. Let me find it. All right.
Breaking news.
What was that, Eddie? What was that?
Well, lately I've been on Pornhub.
Me too, bro. High five.
No, serious.
Are you sure you want to do that, DL? Are you sure you want to give him a high five?
You're right about that. You're right about that.
I'm just saying, you better wash your hands first, man. You don't want to get I don't want a sticky high five. You know what I'm trying to say. But
nope. Stick together.
No, bro, it's gross.
We took it too far.
How did we get here? Dear God.
I was about to see something dirty right now too. On top of that, but I'm not. But I had a funny joke, but no, I've been watching Moonlight. I just watched it today, the third episode. I watched see what else. I'm trying to think. Oh, the Halo show. Obviously, I've been
Halo, yeah.
up to date with that.
Okay.
I
Did you
I'm
watch
trying to
that?
think. I'm trying to think what else. There's hardly anything right now that I'm really watching. Oh, Sonic 2. I already watched and I loved it.
Did you like it?
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was great. So obviously, Secrets of Dumbledore. I watched it recently, but let's see what else. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just waiting for new stuff to come out or stuff that's already new to keep on, with more episodes or whatever. But I'm happy right now with what's being released. I'm hoping for more, but like I said, just don't know at the moment what else is there in the future.
That's true. There's not really a lot coming out right now.
Yeah.
But there is one movie I will say that I recommend to a lot of people. Uh, but if you have not seen the movie Drive with Ryan Gosling, I implore you to watch that movie. Is that the right word? Um, but
Implore.
please watch that movie. If you love movies, even if you don't like Ryan Gosling, because at first there was this moment where I was just like, I don't like Ryan Gosling. I never watched any of his movies. I just had this he's one of those actors that does romance movies. So I watched Drive for the first time like a few years ago, and I fell in love with that movie. It's phenomenal. Oscar Isaac's in it. What's her name? She's in Mad Men. The redhead from Mad Men's in it. It's a
Yeah.
the dad from Finding Nemo's in it. He plays a mafia boss. Ron Perlman's in it. Bryan Cranston is in it. It's such a good movie. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's just so good. The soundtrack for it is just beautiful. So go check that out. But for shows, I don't really watch a lot of shows that much anymore. Like for streaming shows in general, it takes a lot for a show to like really get me hooked. Like if you don't get me hooked by the first 2-3 episodes,
Marvel.
it's exactly. It's hard for me, and even when I do give the rest of the show a chance, to see the full story, what they're going towards and all that, blah blah blah.
How do you feel about that? Yeah. How do you feel about the Halo show? I think it's pretty solid so far.
So
Woke, woke,
This has come from someone who hasn't played the games too. So I mean, I only played the game one time, but that's it. Yeah.
So I never played the games before either, but the past 2 weeks, he let me play all the games. So I beat all 5 games in like 1 week. I'm on the new one right now, Infinite. And so I'm trying to compare what they do in the games to the show. And the show is a year before Halo Reach, which is a prequel to Halo 1. But so far, I'm really trying to give it a chance. I'm really trying. I understand what they're trying to say with we want the audience to relate with Master Chief by seeing his face.
I want to hear about
that. I don't need to. The thing with that is like how many characters Darth Vader. Did I need to see Darth Vader's face to relate to him? Did I need to relate to there's a multitude of characters that I can't name off right now somehow. But
I mean,
I didn't need to relate to it. Boba Fett.
Devil's advocate, we did. Okay, no, actually, no.
That's a terrible instance.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you Boba Fett in the original trilogy because he sucked. but Darth Vader, we even saw glimpses of his helmet off in the original trilogy, and even in Return of the Jedi, most heartfelt moment was when he took off his helmet. So it's like, now I've been asking Halo fans, is there a significant reason why Master Chief doesn't take off his helmet? And no one has told me why.
So in the games, he does take his helmet off around other Spartans. Cortana knows what he looks like. He does interact with people without his helmet off. We just, as members, people that are playing the game, we don't get to see his face. They're keeping that reveal for. They're kind of keeping that mystery. It adds mystery to Master Chief, and I love that about the character. And I'll be honest, it took me a few games to really kind of relate to him and his humanity. But what I love most about Halo and what they've done best in the show is kind of represent what loss is to Master Chief and what loss is in general in the world. Like there's just so much death. There's so much tragedy in the world of Halo because of the Covenant and all these massacres. Like, you know, what you saw in the first episode happens thousands of times all in 1 minute. You know, they're just massacring civilizations and societies and stuff, trying to find the Halo ring. But what I just, you know, I wish we would see more of him in the helmet. I just don't like seeing him. You know, the last episode, he was in the helmet for 5 minutes. I was like, what the fuck? I don't care about anything that's going on right now. There was literally no action. And I was like, that's fine. It's a story-driven episode. You're kind of setting up what's going on next. The one thing I did love was seeing a hunter, was seeing like the leg of a hunter and like the stuff that they're made of kind of slither out and take out that entire ship. That was pretty cool.
That was sweet.
But I don't know. You know, I'm really trying to give it a chance. You know, I'm gonna wait to see where they're going because I don't hate it. I really don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate it either. I mean, I'll admit it is slower than I thought it was going to be. It's very story driven. There's a lot of expedition and talking. The action scenes are actually really good in the show. I just wish there was a little bit more action sprinkled in here and there. I don't know if that's representative of how the game is, but it's like, you know. But there is a show that I've been watching. It just ended.
Oh yeah.
I know we're in the controversy with Will Smith, and it probably taints people if they want to watch this. But on Peacock, the Bel Air show is really good. It really is.
So I'll be honest, I hate it. I hate the trailers. I didn't watch the show. The trailers, I just saw it so many times. I was like, I have no interest. And I'll be honest, I didn't grow up with Bel Air. I watched a few episodes, and obviously I watched that, you know, the greatest scene of the show with Phil Hartman and Will, you know, about, you know, dad.
That was great.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I love that scene.
Yeah.
But I just had no interest, but I hear it's good.
It is good. It is good.
I'm laughing because you're lucky you're not Max Bradley, because I would have said something else about you. I'm just saying, is there a reason you have no interest in it? Are you sure it's a story, or is this?
Oh,
don't bring it there. Don't you bring it there. I swear.
That's what I'm telling you. If it was Max,
it's just like, what if they came up to you and said, let me think of something. Let me think of something that people love, that I can destroy. Fuck. What if they said Saturday Night Live did it perfectly? They mocked it perfectly. I love it. I don't like SNL, but Austin showed me a skit they did, doing the same exact thing, making Family Matters. Steve Urkel, just exactly like a gangbanger and stuff like that. Like they made it super serious, like they would with like they did with Bel Air and shit. Like that's the exact reason I have no interest. It's just making a sitcom more serious, like a drama. Just come on, man. Like,
yeah, I didn't know how to feel about it at first because I saw the trailers and stuff. I even saw the fan film on online, and I was like, okay, that's an interesting like experiment, but I don't know how this would translate if this was actually a show. And then when I heard they're actually trying to do it, I was like, huh, what? Like no, why are you doing this? And then but like watching the show, it's actually done really well. The drama, the story overall is actually really engaging. Like I wasn't thinking about the sitcom version at all watching it. Like it felt like its own thing. While it still paid respects to the original, of course, but it's like it was its own thing. I didn't feel like the dramatization was too much. I would say actually there's a couple of moments where it did feel kind of overdramatic here and there, but it wasn't a lot. Like I could tell if you watched it, there'd probably be a couple of moments being like, okay, that was too much. They're being melodramatic here and there. And like they curse a lot. It's an adult show.
Oh,
it's TVMA. They curse a lot. They curse in every show. They They talk about drugs. They talk about shootings, obviously. There's even some stuff about LGBT stuff. It's not in your face. That's actually the lead. That's actually probably the. I feel like that one was a bit undercooked. They didn't really focus on it that much. But it's
Okay.
like that's something they probably could focus on more in the season 2. But like, yeah, there's a lot of heavy subjects that they do in here that I'm like, I'm impressed. I was impressed.
No, I'm glad when shows do that. So,
Yeah.
that's why I like Euphoria so much and stuff. Is like I understand it is a teen drama. Like it is very teen drama centric, but overall, like the message of the show isn't really based on that teen drama. There is teen drama in the show, and it's very centric and involved in the story. But the drug abuse, just abuse in general, deviancy and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of good stuff that I like 13 Reasons Why. I do love that show.
Mm.
I love the message of that show as well.
Mm.
I love when they do that and stuff. They bring in that out because they know what they're aiming for. They know the audience they're trying to aim for and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It works. It does work.
Like
For
this
sure.
is how you do a good reboot. Like instead of them trying to replicate what they've done before, to get some cheap nostalgia and stuff like that, they were like, let's tell the story in a new way. Give it a different spin. So that's what I respect about reboots.
You might have convinced me to check it out. I might check it out.
Mm.
Because there's just one last show before we close out
Mhm.
that was not talked about the entire, at least not talked about on the streams that we watched, the sphere, that we're in.
Mhm.
But Raised by Wolves season 2 just ended a few weeks ago. Holy shit!
I need
This
to catch
season,
up. I need to catch up.
yeah, this season was, oh my god, Eddie. Oh my god. How do I blow people up? This is amazing.
What is? Oh God!
It's Fat Bastard. But Max, but it's Max, so I guess it's Max Bastard.
Oh my god. Looks like a chicken nugget from afar. Like, if I'm far away, my eyesight is terrible. It looks like a chicken nugget.
Like a chicken nugget.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Dear God. Dear God, Eddie. But no, Raised by Wolves season 2. It was better than the first season in every way. The first season was kind of slow with every episode, I'll admit, but they got right to the chase of season 2. They were like, you know what, we're going all in. You want to get action, violence, mystery, sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
Every episode, phenomenal. So if you haven't watched it, go check it out. It's really good.
Cool.
But other than that, I think we're gonna end today, guys. Is there anything you guys want to say before we end up?
Oh, going to see Fantastic Beasts tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's good. I hope it makes money because I want to see it keep going. But as I said, preparing myself for the possibility this might be the last one because no one wants to see it.
It's very. It's not hard. It's not hard. Where they were going after the second movie, it's not hard to get worse. It's not hard. Just by the trailers, just by the sounds of it, it's not that hard to get worse from here. Especially when you have J.K. Rowling still involved. So.
Well, they had the writer that worked on the Harry Potter movies to help for this one, so at least they're getting their act together slightly with this.
And poor David Yates, man. Poor David Yates.
David Yates.
Did you hear what he said the other day?
No.
So before when Crimes of Grindelwald came out, people would come to him, like fans would be like, "Hey," because I asked you about this the last time we did an episode.
Mm-hmm.
About them being brothers and friends. So people were confused about that. And they were like, are they lovers? Because like people were talking about that. And he was like, no, there's no inclination of they have a romance in these movies. I have no intention of showing that they had a romance in these movies. And he had to retract that because J.K. Rowling later on was like, no, they are. Like they're in a relationship.
Benedict Cumberbatch is not Khan.
Who said that?
Huh? Oh, JJ, when Into Darkness was revving up, like people were like theorizing that Benedict Cumberbatch was Khan, and then he kept denying that it was, and then we saw the movie, and he was Khan. But why did JK not talk to David about that?
I don't know.
Like,
But that was very interesting.
just left it up, and isn't she writing the scripts?
He's the
And-
director. That's the funny thing. Like, he's the director of these movies.
He's a director.
I have no idea.
Yeah, he directed 4 Harry Potter films, and he's directing all 5 of these movies, and he doesn't know that Dumbledore is gay, or he had
That's
no
very
intention of showing that in any of the movies.
Apparently, she did. They had different things planned. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is his last. If he doesn't, maybe honestly, maybe he's probably going to do the last 2. But if he drops out, I won't be surprised, and I won't blame him.
Like, to be honest, I think Yates needed to leave after Deathly Hallows Part 2. But at the latest, he should have left after Crimes of Grindelwald, man. Like,
Yes, absolutely.
man,
Absolutely.
I don't know why he's the one that's been chosen to do all these movies, man. And it's like it's starting to get to a point where, I mean, not saying that he's like that he doesn't understand the world, because he does, but it's just like we have to keep in mind he came into a point in Harry Potter where things were really bleak and like intense and stuff like that, and it feels like his direction hasn't fully gotten out of that. Even though he's in a different time period, it feels like he's still in the funk of, oh, everything's depressing still.
Like the last trailer that came out the other day, I was like,
yeah,
this just looks very bland. Like, I just have no interest in seeing this in theaters. Like,
yeah, like we know what Yates is gonna do direction-wise. Like, there's nothing really much that's gonna surprise us at this point. We know how he's gonna direct it. We know how he's gonna do the camera stuff. He may do some surprises here and there, but like we know how you're gonna do it. And it's, as you said, it's starting to get bland. Like,
it really is.
Yeah, we need fresh new filmmakers. So it's like, if he continues to do 4 and 5, then fine. You know, he already did 3, so he might as well finish. But it's like, if the franchise is going to be saved somewhat, like,
please,
we need new directors. We need new directors.
For the love of God, help us,
please,
help us, Harry Potter heads,
please, help.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Everyone who popped in and out, and of course, thank you guys for coming on in and talking with us and stuff. About the topics, Austin is currently passed the fuck out.
Okay.
So we will hear from him next in the next 2 weeks. So if you're watching and you haven't watched the first episode, every other Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, we will be doing an episode talking about some stuff. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like the stream, share out the streams and stuff. Make sure you're sub to Max and stuff, and shout out to Max for letting us do this, and much love to Max, of course. We love Max,
Much
and we
love.
love all the everyone else too, for sure. I can't name names. I won't lie. I'm kind of drunk. I'm kind of high too. So I enjoy doing this though. Thank you guys.
It's fun.
So yeah, I think that with that being said, we'll close out. Let me find my outro real quick. See if we'll do this.
Why you don't come on the stream baked and drunk, ladies and gentlemen.
This is exactly why. But yeah, much love, everyone. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure you go sub to DL and go to sub to Eddie too. And Isaac as well. Isaac had to dip early. So much love to Isaac, and go check out Multiverse of Movies. Go check out DL. Go check out Oh My Diaz 22. Give these guys a sub. They're awesome. Much love to you guys.
It's 23, you jerk.
My channel name is
23.
my channel name is I am DL, but that's just my social media stuff.
Apologize.
It's okay, close enough. They'll find it. DL, they'll find me.
All right, much love, everyone. Have a fantastic rest of your day. See you.